And let's start with sharing a bit of our background on how we became leaders and how we became experts within our industry. Robin, why don't you kick it off?
Okay, my name's Robin Corbins. I'm a 16-year educator in special education. I started in Louisiana in 2003, moved in 2005 to Atlanta, and nourished and honed my craft through a master's degree on my way back to Louisiana. So I made a round trip thanks to that famous hurricane called Katrina. And once I got back, I started working on my degrees. My children were, let's just say, in between, but the start was 88, and I graduated in 99 with my first one. Okay, my first degree. The second one was in 2007 after the 2005 hurricane. So in all those years, I just kept working to get what I felt I deserved.
I love that. And Yvette, how about you?
Experience. Experience. I became a leader in my industry. I was in my late 20s when my marriage ended. And I was financially, it was very difficult for me and my children. So I changed my career. I went into financial services, and that gave me such an education as a woman in a male-dominated industry. That I started to empower myself with the things that I learned. And I've always cared about women, especially women with children who'd been through adversity. And my most enjoyable clients seem to be the ones who were going through the roughest time. So really, it's just experience, my own personal experience, and my learning, just absorbing and applying everything I learned year after, the next year you learn a little more, you do a little more, you learn a little more, you do a little more. And those principles were able to teach me so much. And so now all of that has come together, and I've actually become a leader in my field, especially with women. Some say I'm sexist, but I'm not. I'm not sexist. I'm not sexist. But I understand. This is who I communicate best with.
You understand your audience, and
yes,
women need help too. Okay, we need it more than most. We make the world go round. We birthed you.
Yes, we do.
And let's introduce Tanya.
Hello, everyone. My experience actually started when I was a teenager. I developed a love. I discovered that I loved writing, and that was like a way for me to be able to express my creativity. So I went to college, of course, and got my degree in mass communication. My focus mainly, of course, was journalism. And I worked for a newspaper for about 4 years and realized that I actually wanted to do something else. I wanted a little bit more, I guess you would say, freedom as far as being able to express my writing. So I went into marketing and PR and found out that, hey, I love being a storyteller and helping others to be able to tell their story. So that's how I got into this, and I love it. It's my passion.
That is incredible. And best one on our panel, we have Amber.
Hello, everyone. Amber Hawkins, hailing out of Toledo, Ohio. Long story short, came to love computers. Although I didn't go total technology, I do know some IT, information technology and the like, but I would say my specialty is as far as bridging the gap between those who know and those who don't know about computers and technology. I went to the matriculation of school elementary, junior, high school, college, all of that, and also have a master's in educational technology, human resources specification. The thing was that with all of that, it was challenging as far as employment was concerned. Varied experiences, which I'm glad about, but I found myself very unusually laid off more than employed. So I went through probably about 6 or 7 layoffs. I lost count after 5, but anyway, I went through a program locally here in the Toledo, Ohio area, SS Toledo, which is a 13-week program that shows individuals who would like to start their own businesses how to do it, because I need like a classroom structure type of thing, because after the wee hours of the morning, job hunting, it was like I just sighed and said, that's it, no more. I'm going to start my own business. At least I won't have to lay myself off. So went through that, went through the ups and downs of entrepreneurism, and that is going to be constant. I'll tell anybody, you know, that you stick with it and do what's necessary in order to stick with it, and been doing it ever since, and loving it where people have that aha moment, especially if they find computers and technology challenging.
I absolutely love that. That is incredible. And all of you have amazing stories to share. So before we kick it off, I also wanted to introduce myself. As a little girl, I was raised to be a leader from probably the day I came out the womb. My dad, that was my dad's mission for me, was to be a leader. And so I took that seriously. I'm the oldest of 6 kids. I was always captain of my cheer team, a president of choir, those types of things. That at the beautiful age of 17 was a store manager for an ice cream shop. Go me. So as I continued to grow up through my careers and college, I found myself always in management roles within sales and marketing. And I carry that on with me. And I'm sure none of you are shocked, but 2020 happened, and it wasn't the glorious thing we all thought it was going to be.
Nope.
So 1 week before my birthday, my 30th birthday, I was laid off, and I was a single mom. I was devastated. I was going into a new decade of life, jobless, and I didn't know what to do. And like everybody else and their dog, was calling unemployment and on hold for about 1 trillion years. So that wasn't going to work for me. I don't sit still very well. We will notice that in this panel. I will be moving everywhere. So I was looking at Grayson, watching him play, watching Disney Plus, wondering how Disney Plus was going to stay on. And in that moment, was also scrolling through Instagram, and it dawned on me that I could really teach people how to use social media and turn it into a scroll stopping moneymaker, because I was an award-winning salesperson and always top in my departments for being the queen of social media. So I merged those skill sets, created Gray Digital Marketing, and since then have done some incredible things, like be listed as one of the top 50 marketers on the rise for the African American Marketing Association. So incredible stuff since 2020, and super grateful that I get to moderate this panel with such incredible women to share our secrets to success. And what I want everybody to know is success looks different for every single person. And how we got there is more important than where we've arrived. And so as you hear our stories, from the ones we just told to the ones we're going to share here in a few moments, look for those gold nuggets that resonate with you, because all 5 of us come from different backgrounds, and all 5 of us have different stories to tell. But the success is in the details, and we've got to where we have gotten to because of hard work, effort, and for many of us, because we have children to feed. So we are so excited to share this moment with you, and we're all going to go around and share how we define success, because everyone defines it differently based on their own personal experience. And we're going to start with Robin, but how do you define success?
For me, success is if someone learns something from me today. Success is not always about money to me. Yes, people need money. Yes, you have to pay bills. But being the type of person that I am, success for me is if somebody meets me and they learn something from me today, I've been successful today. Tomorrow, you're not promised anything. But today, you start at between 12:01 a.m. and 12 midnight. If someone's learned something from me today, that is a successful day for me. Now, everything else is what we call in Louisiana lanya. That means extra. Okay, so whatever I can teach someone and they've learned it, it's success for me.
That is
You
beautiful.
teach them how to fish and they can eat for life.
How about you, Tanya?
So I've defined success where the things that you love to do meets what you were destined to do. That to me is considered as success. A lot of times, just like Robin was saying, you know, success isn't always defined by the bottom dollar. And I think that especially in my particular industry and helping small businesses to be able to tell their story, a lot of times they are so stressed and so focused on the money aspect.
Yep.
And it's not even about that, that if you are doing what you are destined to do, what you love to do, the money's going to follow. It's going to come. So that's my definition. It's simple, straight to the point. You know, it's all about what you're passionate about doing. And if it meets right there at that critical point of what you're destined to do, you've become successful.
Beautiful, like absolutely beautiful. I love how the two just like merge together and you're like, no, this is what you love and what you're destined for.
Right.
Incredible. Yvette.
Well, when I was homeschooling my adult children, one of the things I would tell them is that if you can find what you love to do and find a way to make money doing it, you'll never work a day in your life. And that's cliche. I'm sure we've heard that before. But to me, that is success. Doing something for a living that is something you would love to do. Me counseling, talking to women, helping with finances and things like that. That's something for many clients I was doing for free anyway. So the people who couldn't afford me that I cared about. So success to me is that and being in the best physical condition I can be in, being in the best mental condition I can be in, being in the best emotional condition that I can be in, and close family relationships with my friends. So relationships are serious. Success also, I guess, is multifaceted. For me, is being debt free, retiring comfortably, having a plan for as I age. There's a lot of longevity in my family. My grandmother's like 102 when she passed. Everybody's like 90s, 100, 80s, you know, and I don't want to be a burden on my children. So knowing that I've made the plans that need to be made, that while they're raising their children, they don't have to worry about mom. They can come see me and not see about me. So I guess that's success, all wrapped up for me.
That's success for a lifetime. That is incredible. Amber, how about you?
With what all the ladies mentioned, I will say as far as the financial part, because you have to admit a lot of people are concerned about that. At least in that aspect of it, be financially literate. I would say that for me, actually back around 2019, 2020, that was the time frame I decided in my mind, because along with what I was going through, I came to the realization I was not financially literate as I thought. And that was very important to me. And it's actually very important as far as our livelihoods. I would equate that as part of success, because you are going to do what you're going to do. And in the enjoyment of life, at least have that financial foundation that you need. As far as what you do you find the joy in it? Because if you're not finding the joy in what you're doing, and it's like a day by day by day by day, you're feeling kind of robotic and all of that, maybe that needs to be investigated. And like, okay, wait a minute, is this going to equate to the life I'm trying to live? Or is this going to be where this is how things are going to be it your job, be it business, be it whatever the case may be. So having that financial foundation, or at least learning more about it, and doing what you love that brings you joy. So people learning about and having that opportunity to overcoming whatever computer skill they're trying to learn, that brings me joy.
I absolutely love all of these. All of you are so incredible. I just am like writing down these gold nuggets as we go. And I think for me personally, I would really define success a couple ways. One way that is not your typical way, but that is by learning how to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. I think that when you're uncomfortable, you're trying new things and you're growing and learning, because our comfort zone is should be a very scary place for all of us. And then I also look at it as just help one person every single day. And so if me helping one person every single day helps take me out of my comfort zone, then I'm advancing and learning. And I consider that being successful, because I don't ever want to stop learning. And every golden nugget I take in, I get to give back out to the world. So that is how I would define success. So we're going to keep going with this panel. And if you haven't yet grabbed your notebook and pen, I suggest you do so, because it's only going to get better from here as we move along to our next beautiful question, which is, what adversity did you overcome to reach your current level of success? And looking back, what do you wish you did differently? And we're going to swing that lovely question over to Yvette.
Belief. I think belief in myself was probably the biggest thing, because the comfort zone is not comfortable. You're used to it, but the comfort zone is not comfortable. And the belief that I could take it to the next level, the next level, the next level, was something that was very challenging for me, because everything I wanted to do and the ways I wanted to advance were things I didn't know yet. I had to learn, and things I had to implement that I just was not used to doing. So I think belief in myself was the biggest thing. And then I think looking back, I would realize that you can't be a one-woman show and run a business. You need people. We need people. There's nothing you can do on your own. So that's probably the biggest take, getting overwhelmed because I just didn't realize things get so big, and it was just one me, wearing 20 hats, the marketer, the newsletter, the content writer, the this, the that, the person taking the appointments. I was doing everything. So that's the biggest thing, is just always knowing that you need people. You cannot do it alone, and believing in myself.
That is, I literally just told somebody, thank you for that exact thing. Like, I can't do this alone. It's too hard. We'll stop. Makes you go a little crazy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Robin, how about you?
I would say the one thing I would have done differently would have been started a little bit earlier. In case you can't tell, I'm not 17, 18 and a half. I think I would have started a little bit earlier. In my particular situation, I come from a small town where I was raised by my grandparents in a village. Well, my grandmother in a village. So college was not in the card for me earlier. By the time I went to college, I was almost 25 years old. Most people at 25 have two jobs, the picket fence, the house, all of that. At 25, I was a single parent, divorced, and signing up to go to school. And I started at 18. Yes, it would have been different. But because my journey started late, I believe that what I went through from 25 to the age that I actually finished my first college degree was a benefit, because now I'm strong enough to teach my children. Because at 18, no matter 18, 17, like I said earlier, you have other things that you're interested in. But by 25, you have an idea what you want. You know how to go after it. And the difference between going after it and sticking to it, the determination, you have to stick to it. Going after it is cool, but if you don't persistently go after it, then all of the plans were for nothing. Persistence and the fact that I didn't start earlier, like I said, because of my situation, but where I did start, the persistence carried me the rest of the way.
I think my biggest takeaway from that is that persistence carried you the rest of the way. I think too many of us quit right at that point where greatness is about to happen.
Yep.
And if you can just keep on and want it just 51% instead of 50,
Right.
like that persistence is going to be what takes it all the way. And it's really the difference between those who win and those who haven't yet.
Yeah, I teach that to I taught that to my 4 kids, and I teach that to people, that just the kids that are trying to get to college. My thing is persistence. If you see that you really want to be in a university or just a 2-year college, persistence will get you there. You stop now, okay, you went to high school and you didn't stop at 11th grade, you went to 12th grade. Okay, and you're excited because now you're a senior and you're graduating and all that. Then you get to college and you're like, okay, new world. But why stop there? You started, finish. Persistence.
I love that. Tanya, how about you? How about you wrap this question and send it home?
I think for me, being in the position of being divorced, losing my job, being homeless with my kids, I
Wow.
think that put me in a position to where it was like, you've got to fight for this. And I think that's when I discovered the light bulb went on and said, this is what you're destined to do. Because in the midst of that, I mean, I was hosting webinars and collaborating with other business women, and I didn't even have a roof over my head.
Wow.
And so I think that looking back, I think if I had actually just taken the time to just structure everything instead of just jumping in so fast, because I was kind of in a position similar to Robin, where I started late. I literally like just did a 180 with my career. And it was like, okay, I'm coming back, full circle back to doing what I actually love to do instead of just doing something just to get by. So I was like, I'm over 40 and, I don't have that much time left. And so I was just so quick to jump into it. And I didn't take the time to actually structure my business, take the time to learn more about my industry, because from the time that I was working up until 2015, marketing and PR had changed a lot. It had changed a lot. And it just kind of just was like this moment where it's like, okay, Tanya, you've got to go back to the drawing board. And this time, take some time and just get back in there, but take your time, learn more, collaborate more, network more. So I think that if I had done that, I don't think that I would have been in the position where I had to start over. Even in the midst of the adversity, I think that I wouldn't have had to start over.
That was so powerful. I forgot that I have to move to the next question, and I'm just staring to try not to cry. So, one quick second to take a deep breath. Switching gears here, everyone. According to many articles out on the internet, many are in agreement that writing down goals, creating a strong belief system, and investing in yourself are keys to success. Do you agree, or do you have any you would add or take away from the list? And Amber, would love to hear your thoughts.
My thinking as far as that is concerned, it doesn't hurt to write the goals because you want to see your accomplishments. You want to see how far you come. You want to actually witness the fact that after you've achieved something, after you accomplish something, you can go back. I remember when I wrote this down, and it was probably easy to attain. It probably was. I had to go through this, go through that, jump through this hurdle, jump through that hurdle. There was a time I did not think I was going to make it, period, to accomplish this goal because this happened, that happened, whatever. But I accomplished it. I did it. I'm thankful. On to the next goal. And if you have to be your best cheerleader, if nobody's cheering for you, at least cheer for you, because it is you that you want to be the best you, and it's you who is doing everything from writing. And with computers and technology, you can write, you can type, you can write it on and put it as part of your smartphone, have apps to do that and everything from there. So yes, you do set your goals. Yes, you do set your boundaries because you want, well, when I say boundaries, I'm going to narrow down boundaries as far as what are you going to tolerate in this process? Are you going to tolerate the naysaying, or are you going to set boundaries like, look, this is who I need to be about. This is who I also need to be surrounded by in order to accomplish this goal, in order to accomplish that goal. Because sometimes in the process of it, you're going to get those who will either put an obstacle or be an obstacle that you need to overcome. You have it where, you know, they mean well, but then at the same time, what are you going to do as far as accomplishing this goal or that goal? And let me add, getting the help that you need too, because sometimes the goal that you're trying to accomplish is not going to be a one-person thing. You sometimes, actually all the time, I should say, research it. That was mentioned before. You need to research as far as, okay, this is the goal I want to accomplish. It looks like it's something I really don't know the steps to take. Let me research what it's going to do, and maybe in the research have it where, okay, I see where from the Google results that pop up that this person accomplished this goal, but they took it a different route. But I do have an idea that, okay, it's going to be more than I anticipate, so let me get the help that I need.
I just love that. When you said, look at who you surround yourself with, two things came to mind for me. One was, I am a firm believer, since I do social media for small businesses and entrepreneurs, like sometimes we have to unfollow people in real life. Yeah. Hashtag unfollow somebody who's holding you back today. But also, I don't know if anybody remembers this scene or which movie it's from, Medea is literally explaining that people are like leaves on a tree or something along that line, where she's like, it's like seasons. Sometimes they grow and sometimes they gotta fall away. And I always think of that when I think about those who are surrounding me. And I love people. I really, really do. But sometimes I have to recognize that negativity just doesn't need to live here,
Right.
live out there. So, which really goes into belief systems. And Yvette, I know you had talked about overcoming and like your belief within yourself. And so curious how you feel about what all of those articles on the internet say from all of the life coach gurus in the world on goal setting and belief systems. Would love to hear your hot take.
I agree. I agree. You know, but um, I would add to drown out the noise, sort of like what Amber was saying. Because my family believed in me, but my community didn't. They didn't, you know, so sometimes you have to drown out the noise. They didn't think I could do it. Many people were, just like Amber said, they were sabotaging, trying to assassinate character. She thinks she's this and all of these things, and she's not what she's. You have to drown out the noise. You have to stay centered. And as you said, you know, your boundaries have to be very clear. Who's allowed in your world, in your home, in your business, as a client. Sometimes I leave money on the table because I know good and well I'm not having an annual review with this person, but that's what I do in my career. You know, some people will drain you. So you have to set boundaries in all areas of your life. But most importantly, you really, really do have to drown out the noise. And then with all of the advice that they have, then you have to take massive action and be kind to yourself, because there's a duality of life. There's negative and there's positive. Expect it. Don't get upset. Don't get uptight. It's positive and negative. It's good and bad. It's consistent. It will always be that way. So get yourself of that mindset and keep it moving.
Oh my gosh, that is so incredible. Just the stories in this panel today are just making me excited to go do something after we all go back to our corners of the world. Like, I want to take massive action. I want to take massive action right now. And we're still here. And there's just one last question that I want everybody to really hone in on as we look to these last couple minutes with one another and dive in pretty deep. But what is one takeaway each of you wishes that our audience will take from our chat about success? And what is one thing you wish somebody told you when you got started? So we're going to add to our original question. What is one thing you hope people take away from today? And what is one thing you wish somebody told you when you got started? And Amber, I'm going to send it back your way, and then I'll let you popcorn it to the next person.
Okay, I would, in thinking about this question, it's like, what would the answer be? I would say, I wish someone earlier would had told me that you are not only unique, but you are unique to the point where you really don't need to compare to anyone else. You may see people getting ahead in whatever that they're doing, and it's like, why isn't that me? Why didn't this happen for me during this time or that time or whatever? You don't know what a person had to go through to achieve what they achieved. So you have to wear the shoes that is best for you. You can't fit into every shoe and you can't wear every size. You hone in and you embrace, and you also congratulate yourself on how unique you are, because it's best that you are an original and not a copy.
That is just wow. Like, you are unique and you do not need to compare. Everyone, grab your paper and your pen. That one's down. Okay, good job.
Can we patent that statement, original, not a copy?
Yeah, can we please? Like, if you put that on the internet, make sure you tag it.
So I feel
Just-
right.
Just make sure I get my cut of the,
Yeah, make sure we backlink that for SEO. All
right.
Oh my goodness, I know I told you to popcorn, but here I am being the distracting human that I am.
No, that's fine. I thank you for mentioning that, Robin. So, hey, well, we'll go along with Robin, because I love this, and also at the same time, I think we all can agree that we are the best that we are, and we are all originals of us. And whoever, what was imitations, the flattery, or something like that, I can't remember. But if they're trying to copy what we're trying to do, like, oh, okay, there must be something going on. If a copy is trying to do what the original can do.
Come on.
She's over here just dropping diamonds on us all.
Okay.
Watch out, y'all. Robin, how about you?
Okay, I need a couple extra minutes because she just like, she threw the bomb out there. Everybody else is okay. The one thing I think I wish somebody would have told me when I started was that not only will you need to be persistent, you have to be. You have to be. Because as Amber said, there are so many copies that are watching you as an original that if you're not persistent in where you're going, and you don't have a not necessarily a tunnel vision, but if you don't have a vision period, you asked a question earlier about what vision, or writing down a vision.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to Steve Harvey quite a lot, not just for his funny side, but he does have a motivational side. And I heard him say something that I've been working on now for almost a year: 300 things that if you could, you would ask God for. I am actually at 150, and I've been working on this for a year. You may need somebody to tell you you're beautiful. You don't need anybody to show you that you are. Look in the mirror.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You may need somebody to say, okay, you're smart, you're intelligent, you're knowledgeable. You may need to hear that from somebody. But look in the mirror. You know you better than anybody else.
Mic drop.
Mic drop.
If you want the cure to imposter syndrome,
you know you better than anybody else. And had somebody told me, I'm with Amber. I understand that, yes, we have people that will say, okay, you're most likely to succeed, this, that, and the third. I was neither one of them, even though I graduated half a year early. I was neither one of them. Again, as I said, the mic drop. You need, we all like to be stroked and, told we're pretty. We need that as human beings. But you know you better than anybody else. And I would tell somebody today that not only do you know you better than anybody else, you know what you want before anybody else does. You know what you want before you tell anybody else. You have already had a conversation with yourself on what you're going after. Persistence.
Well, now I feel like I need to go get a whiteboard marker and write it on the mirror and just stare at myself and read it. I literally have chills. I don't know if I'm scared to hear what my drop's telling you about.
No, don't be scared. Don't be scared. You better. Tanya and Yvette is just gonna add some flavor to it.
Just fuel to the fire of greatness. Like, this is
add some fire.
epic.
That's it. They're gonna add to the cake. Come on, bring the icing home, somebody.
Oh yeah, we got to finish this cake.
Yeah, we got
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, again, notebooks, people. And by the way, this is where I started. So here's where we're at on my notes. Oh my goodness. Okay. Robin, who are you popcorning it to? Because I'm still writing look in the mirror.
Okay, Yvette.
Well, I think one takeaway that I can take from listening to all of everyone who has shared so much valuable jewels. I call them mental vitamins. You know, you take your mental vitamins when you hear those things that just resonate inside of you. And one of the things that I seems to be a trend is it's loving yourself. Love yourself enough. Love yourself enough to know that, as Sister Amber says, the substitute won't do. There's only one you need, you know. Love yourself enough to give yourself a chance. Love yourself enough to set the boundaries you need. It's all, everything everyone has said on here, it's just all loving yourself and believing yourself. And I think the encouragement that we would give other people, we need to give ourselves that same encouragement. And what I wish someone would have told me when I got started is the difference between being self-employed and running a business. I thought I was running a business and it was only me. And I became critically ill. And when I became critically ill, when I shut down, what I thought was my business shut down. So now I understand very clearly that if business runs, whether I shut down or not, that's a business. It keeps running. I really wish someone would have told me that, because I sure thought I had a business. I was in business and it was just me. That's a start. It's a necessary step in the process to get started, but that's not the end.
I agree on that part. Any business has different aspects, as Yvette mentioned. I just wanted to quickly interject that burnout is no play in the park. I've experienced it myself. Being burned out. Woo-hoo. This era of self-care, as they call it.
Oh,
say what you want, but it is extremely necessary, like Yvette said. And I believe she is also saying too, if you don't take care of you, how can you take care of anything and anybody else?
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
Show of hands, how many of us have had burnout to the point of like collapse?
Yes. Serious.
We could probably spend a whole hour talking about how to avoid burnout.
Burnout.
Yep.
Right.
Avoid it. It's a secret to success.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so powerful to just love yourself. And literally, we could spend a whole hour just talking about what it felt like and what it looks like on the other side of burnout and why it's important to love you.
Mm-hmm.
Who cares if you're conceited? Worry about you. You can't help others if your cup isn't full. What are they going to drink from? An empty cup?
Okay.
Hey.
another mental vitamin.
There you go.
There you
go.
You are all bringing it out of me. Like, I'm so grateful. Tanya.
Bring it home, Tanya.
Everything that you all have said has been amazing. Amazing nuggets, gold nuggets. Only thing that I could probably just add to that is that investing in relationships is so important. It was mentioned earlier tonight that you can't do this journey by yourself. Even as a solopreneur, you still cannot do it by yourself. So investing in relationships, and I use the word invest because there's value in that. That's a resource. So you want to be successful, make sure that you invest in relationships. One of the things, oh my goodness, that I wish someone had told me on this journey was, so many different things, that failure is a part of the journey.
It is.
And I think that that was something that created a stumbling block for me during the beginning, because I was so wrapped up and so afraid to fail and to fall. But if I had not failed, I wouldn't be in the position where I am right now, because I've learned so many things from failing. So it's like now I know what not to do. You know, I know who I need to connect with. I know who I need to network with now. So I wish someone had said, girl, it's okay. It's okay if you fail, because guess what's going to happen? You're going to get energy. You're going to get resources. You're going to get support to get back up. And when you get back up, you're going to become better. So I wish that someone had said that to me, and I hadn't put so much pressure on myself to do it right the first time and to be perfect.
Perfection is a disease.
It is.
It is.
Can I say
I'm
something?
seriously working on trying to cure myself of that.
Good luck with that one.
You
Um,
could. I
have-
would like to say, can I say something very quickly?
Go for it.
In regard to that. What you said is actually so powerful. And I think one of the things we have to do is, you know, someone told me a long time ago, the most successful people have had the most failures. They've had the most failures. And, you know, life is the classroom. Since we're born, life is the classroom, and it never stops. We pass some, we fail some, but we learn. We learn, and when we get up and we move on, we can implement new things. So, you know, that's just so powerful. Just accept the fact that success does not come without failure. You've got to fail. You've got to fail. Just like a baby trying to walk. They keep falling, they get up, they fall, they roll over, they get up, they bump their heads, they fall flat on their backs, but they keep it moving. They keep trying to walk. It doesn't matter how many times they fall. I think we need to keep that, find that place inside of us that we had when we were just beginning our life.
I mean, if you think about it, really think about babies for a second. They know walking's possible because they see people do it every single day all around them. We see successful businesses. We know they exist. So to Robin's point, be persistent, get back up. To Tanya's point, fail and fail fast.
Yep.
You know, like these are, and then give yourself some grace and forgiveness. Like Yvette said, like, love yourself, but not like, so you don't burn out. And as Amber said, you're an original, you're unique. Don't copy people, don't compare. I mean, these are just mind-blowing things that sometimes we don't think about in the context of folks have a story. And we all just sit there and look at how people won, you know, like look at, let's use Beyonce as today's example. Like we look at Beyonce and we're like, oh, wow. Like she sells out arenas. She does this incredible stuff. But what about Beyonce when she was 5? What about Beyonce back when No came out? Like, anybody remember that? Because she was not selling out Madison Square Garden.
Nope.
Okay.
Right.
She
wasn't by herself either.
Yeah, she wasn't by herself either.
Right?
So just thinking, like, we spend so much time in comparison analysis, and then we just end up saying, why am I not there? Well, you can't compare your chapter 1 to somebody's chapter 100. That's unfair to you. So unfair to you. And I mean, I'm guilty of it. I'm sure everybody's guilty of it at some point in time. We all went through middle school. It's when it reared its ugly head.
Right.
And so I just love what all of you ladies had to share today. I think it's incredible, impactful. And I really hope for those of you who are listening in on this, that you're taking away something that is helping shape your story and furthering it along. When I look back at what I wish somebody would have told me, I spent a lot of my life hearing how great I am, this, that, the other. And I know that's not everyone's story, but not once did somebody say, let me help you get to the next step. And so I wish I would have had somebody who was like willing to just reach out a hand and say, You are incredible. Let's show us how it can grow. That
That's right.
recently just happened to me and my mind was blown. I was like, you really think I'm worthy of that?
Mm.
I can do this. And so, you know, it was a relationship. And that relationship said, hey, I have somebody else who can help you. But it's taken me 3 decades to get to that point.
Mhm.
And if I want anybody to take anything away from today, I want all of you to look yourself in the mirror, because Robin's was like my biggest like goosies. And yes, people can tell you you're beautiful. Yes, people can tell you you're excellent, but only you can make that happen. And so take massive and perfect action. Just take one step. Nobody's asking you to take a million in 1 second. Take the first step to step into your success and keep it going, because you were successful before today and you're going to be successful after today.
Right.
Exactly.
That's right.
Man, we're just over
Good
here.
stuff.
I don't even know who I am today. So it's because of all these incredible women.
So
I'm
you have
surrounded
5
Absorbing.
today.
Absorbing.
by.
It's absorbing.
It is. Well,
Absorbing.
Yes.
ladies, I know we're wrapping this up, but I think it's super important. Every single woman on this call is a business owner. And so I want to know how folks can connect with you. If somebody's sitting there going, gosh, I wish I had somebody to write my content, or gosh, I wish I had somebody to help me like just move forward from PTSD, or gosh, I wish I knew how to get my kid to college, or goodness gracious, somebody help with this computer. How can people connect with you, Tanya?
You can connect with me on my website at mjsvirtualservices.com. I'm also on Instagram, mjs_virtual. And you can also find me on Facebook at MJS Virtual Collaborative.
I love it. Amber.
They can reach me, yourcomputerneeds.net, and click on the contact link for Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and also LinkedIn. The letters YCN as in Nancy, OTLLC, the number 0, the number 5.
Love it. Robin.
You can reach me at using my name at Facebook, Instagram. I am doing Robin 2019. You can reach me, the easiest and the quickest today would be thequeenmother2017@gmail.com, because that is my email address, and that is like my phone. I check my email quicker than I check my phone. So you can reach me at Facebook on my name, Robin Corbins. You can reach me at Instagram on Doing Robin 2019, and you can reach me, email thequeenmother2017@gmail.com. I
love that email.
The Queen Mother.
Right.
The Queen Mother. I love that email.
Put some respect
earned
on my
it.
name.
I have truly earned it. I have 4 now adult children and 1 brand spanking new 4-month-old granddaughter. So I feel like I have earned it.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have.
So that would be the quickest way to get in contact with me, other than I believe I have a LinkedIn page too. I don't use it a lot, but we need to talk, Amber. We need to talk about you and those computers, because my computer has seen better days.
Okay, definitely will.
Okay, so just remember the Queen Mother 2017 email, and we'll talk.
Definitely will.
Hit her up, Amber. Start typing that now.
Nobody can
because
forget the Queen
my
Mother.
phone-
Nobody.
Your phone. Uh-oh. What's going on with the phone?
My phone is my computer screen.
Oh, I understand.
Okay, that is my computer screen.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so yes,
Call this girl.
we must talk. But
Mhm.
ladies, thank you for the nuggets. I appreciate the time. I would definitely say, let me just throw a little something else in here. Those of you, now don't wait until your baby is 18 and contact me, because she needs to be in 9th grade getting her money together to go to college. Okay, and anybody else that
Absolutely.
has a teenager, do not wait until they get into their senior year to find that money, because believe it or not, it's too late.
Too late.
It's too late.
That's another thing that could have been a nugget dropped earlier. I'm sure for a lot of parents, a lot of aunts and a lot of uncles and all from there.
Mhm. Because the fact
I
that
don't
you
know.
start when their senior year starts, okay, like I said earlier, they're planning for prom, homecoming, the dance after homecoming, the party after the prom. They have no idea that the bill is coming in May. College starts in August. Mama, here's the bill.
Mama.
Even daddy, mama.
I miss mine, I tell you. I miss my daddy too. For me, it was mama, daddy.
Uh-huh.
Right? Can you pay for this?
I do understand, but there's a way to find money to get these kids in, even if it's just a 2-year school. They want to go to there's a lot of ways that it can be done. They can go from high school to let's just say get their associate's degree in the 4 years you're in high school. There's a lot of ways around it, and it's free money everywhere. Free. Let me say it one more time.
Thank
free
you.
99. Free 99.
Free 99. Oh, I love
And
it.
throw on trees.
Free
everybody.
99.
Free 99.
You pay nothing.
Love it.
Oh my
Free
goodness.
99.
Yvette, how can we connect with you?
Oh my goodness. You can connect with me at yvette.adams@threegenerations.org. My website is threegenerations.org. And you can find me on Facebook. My name is Yvette. No. You can find me on Facebook as Yvette Monique. I should change it to Adam to be consistent. And then our Facebook page is at post-trauma growth. So you can just put in there the @ sign and post-trauma growth, and 3 generations will pop up.
I love it. Well, friends, if you would like to connect with yours truly, easiest ways to get me to answer you quickly would be follow me on Instagram and send me a DM at Gray with an A, digital MKTG. You will see a lovely picture of me in a hat. Usually I almost wore it today. I'm like the queen of hats because I wear many of them. And then you can also find me on LinkedIn under Raylan Logan. That is RELAND LOGAN. I am the only one, so you're not going to get lists of them. So if you really ever want to find me, just type in Raylan Logan and I will be the only thing that shows up on the internet. So happy and excited that we got to spend time with all of you. Please, please, please connect with any of these fabulous women that are on this panel. We make things happen, and they had such incredible stories to share. And in case you need a real quick wrap up on, we're curious what I wrote down today, we have You Are Unique and You Don't Need to Compare from Amber. Robin, look in the mirror. You know you better than anyone else. Yvette, catch those mental vitamins every single day, but this will be a heavy dose of them. And love yourself, don't burn out. And Tanya, invest in relationships and fail forward fast.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for sharing, ladies. You truly are incredible. I hope you hear that time and time again. And if not, please follow Robin's advice and go look in the mirror. And everybody, remember to fill your cup because you can't help anybody within it. All righty, everyone. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Raylan.
Bye,
Good night, ladies.
Bye-bye.
Hello, and welcome to Girl, Get That Contract, positioning your business for success in the contracting space. I'm Dr. B. Adamson, and I'm excited to be here today to teach you how to position your business for growth in contracting. First, we're going to discuss agency and corporation identification. What do I mean by that? I mean, Where do you want to do business? People on the West Coast often say, I want to concentrate on the West Coast. Conversely, some will say the East Coast for me. Others may say Midwest, and yet others may say, I am ready to go where the money is. As you think about the location, you want to think about the different areas of government: county, city, state, federal, and then you also want to remember corporate. As you build your business model, you want to remember those things. Where do you want to do business? And at what level do you want to work with the government? Keep in mind, there are entity requirements. Depending on the entity as well as the project, there may be requirements that a business must meet. For example, specific number of years experience, bonding. They may require that you have a local office. They may require that you have security clearance or cyber insurance. We know a lot of ransom is being asked for folks that are getting information through data breaches. So now agencies and corporations alike are asking and requiring cyber insurance of those that are contracting with them. Entity types. What am I asking? Who do you want to work with? On the county level, it may be the Human Services Department, the county assessor, a transit system, the ME's office. The city may be the housing authority, mayor's office, school districts, fire department, parks and rec. On the state level, the county assessor, the workforce commission, health and human services. Federally, Department of Commerce, FEMA, DOJ, CIA. Understand that this is not an all-inclusive list. It's here to give you an idea of companies or agencies. It's to give you an idea of agencies you may be interested in working with. This is not an all-inclusive list, but I encourage you, as you develop your business model, to make a list of those agencies you're interested in working with. Let's not forget the corporations, airlines, casinos, Let's not forget the corporations, the airlines, the hospitals, hotels, and theme parks are just some of those corporations you may be interested in working with. What is your niche? As a Black CEO, your minority status is an important thing to think about. A lot of business owners say, I'm not interested, it takes too long, they're asking for too much paperwork, I really don't want them in my business. However, there's something very important I want you to think about. The government works to make sure small businesses get at least 23% of all federal contracting dollars. What does that mean? For every $100 that's spent, they seek to give 23 of those to a minority-owned company. Again, of every $100 that's spent, their goal is 23 of those go to a minority-owned company. You have to be certified. Yes, you can look at me and say, oh, she's a Black woman. However, that's not enough. They require all businesses that want this certification to go through and apply so that a neutral third party confirms, yes, this company is minority owned. It has to be 51% owned by the minority. I stress the importance of this because if we as certified minorities are not at the table, this money is going to go to someone else. The government is not going to say, oh, we can't find anyone to help with janitorial or construction or office supplies or PS&E work. So we're just not going to need it anymore. Absolutely not. They'll give it to somebody that's there. But their goal is 23%. But if we're not at the table, they can't give it to us. So I encourage you, if you are not certified, to fill out the application for that certification. Primes need certified minority firms to meet their contracting obligations. Also, there are some contracts set aside for specific minority-owned businesses. We've heard DMWBE, SBE, 8A, veteran-owned, small business. We've heard those things. But if you don't have those designations, those are opportunities that, one, have a smaller pool for competition, that two, if you're not certified, you can't participate. Subcontractors versus prime contractors. Subcontractors deal directly with the prime. They're not involved with the agency. And it gives you an opportunity to really learn contracting. A lot of times people want to jump deep, but they don't have the skill set. They don't have the business acumen. They don't have the experience. So I encourage you to consider subbing on contracts. I'm not saying for forever, but as you build your business model, you'll know when the time is right to transition. And it's not that you'll always transition fully into prime. You may say, I want to work in prime with federal agencies right now, but I'm good at being a sub in my local government. Typically, subcontractors are newly formed entities. They want to really learn working with a specific agency. They may not have the financial bandwidth to pay for insurance or bonding. And they may want to focus on some of those informal purchases, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Prime contractors, they usually have more experience. They have larger capacity so that they can cover insurance and bonding requirements. They manage those teams from start to finish. If a sub doesn't do the work and doesn't perform, they have to do it or they have to find someone that can. It's a lot of responsibility being the prime. Yes, you get more money, but there's also more responsibility. Small businesses. I want you to raise your hand if you own a small business. Many times people don't want to say they own a small business because they believe there's a negative connotation there. However, you'd be interested to find just how small a business is when you look at the definition in Title 13, Part 121 of the Electronic Code of Federal Regulations. These size standards qualify businesses for certain small business initiatives. Again, another layer of opportunity. Don't shy away from being small. It has its benefits. Okay, you've decided, okay, I'm good. Let's move forward with contracting. I encourage you to review terminology. RFQ, RFB, RFP, single source, sole source. These are all terminology terms that are used in government contracting. Solicitation, bid date, Q&A, addendum, clarification. What do those mean? It's a lot of terminology. If you're unfamiliar, I encourage you to get familiar. RFBs, requests for bid. You've often heard it referred to as low bid. They're looking for who can do it the cheapest, who can deliver it the cheapest. Do not underbid just to win. Know your break-even point. Know your profit margin. Then prepare your bid. You may have two bids at the same time. You may have one that's a bid that you want a profit margin of 6%. But because you just won contract number 2 and you didn't lose much on your profit margin on that project, you may be willing to lose 2% or 3% on this one so that you have 2 projects instead of 1. But you can't know that until you are fully aware of your break even and what your financial goals are. An RFP is a request for proposal. The agency gives you a problem and you're expected to come up with a solution. What does that take? It takes a good writer. Yes, you need someone that can come up with the solution. And as the subject matter expert in your industry and niche, I expect that you would have that. However, you need a good writer to maximize the page count provided, to get the point across, to make your firm seem attractive, and to give those readers what they need to make a decision to choose you. If you're not a huge writer, if you don't like to write, get a writer like myself on your team. Sole source. That means that there's only one person that can do the job or provide the good. Think of a patent. Contract types. There are all types. You should be familiar enough with the different types and know what you can and cannot negotiate on as it relates to your business. I want you to remember that an IDIQ is not a guarantee of money. It is a guaranteed commitment. Example, you have a moving company and you have a contract with the school district to do their moves throughout the next 3 years. They've committed to calling you when they need something moved. They have not committed to calling you X amount of times throughout the contract. So yes, you'll see an IDIQ. I encourage you not to build your complete contracting model on IDIQs. You want to vary and diversify your contract base. Informal versus formal. What is it? The quick thing to remember is an informal isn't advertised. Each agency has a monetary threshold that determines what's informal and what's formal. It may be 10,000, maybe 30,000, maybe 50, maybe 75. In your research, as you're developing your business model, as you're identifying which agencies you want to work with, you'll find that information out. An example of an informal: you're a coach, you have experience in education. Specifically, you were a principal for 4 years. An agency, being a school district, calls you and says, oh, we see that you coach principals. We've got 12, we're a small district, but we've got 12 principals we'd like you to work with. We've got some administrative goals, we've got some professional development we'd like you to work with them on, and just to coach them to be better within our districts. Now, you've done your research and you know that their informal threshold is 50,000. They told you they have 12 principals. So get your calculator out. You know that on average, 50,000 divided by 12 is about $4,000. But you know your break even may be 2,500. So you said, okay, my break even is 2,500. I'm only going to charge 3,200 per principal for this 1-year contract. So you're at 38.4. They may say, oh, great. We're going to draft up a contract, get you to sign it. We can get you started. You think about that. If you do that in 5 more districts, that's almost $200,000 to do something that you've already mastered, something you already have experience in. Look for those opportunities that allow you to use what you've already mastered to increase your bottom line. Formal projects are larger in value. They usually have a longer term. And here goes that word again, subcontracting. They have subcontracting requirements. There's also, again, insurance and bonding required in many instances. Okay, you ready to roll up those sleeves? Ready to get a little work done? Ready to move forward? I hope your answer is yes. Letting schedule. What is that? What is a letting schedule? This shows the days that bids are scheduled to be open. It allows you to strategize which opportunities you want to follow and subsequently bid on as a prime, or partner with a prime and be a sub on their team. Letting schedules are often used by the Department of Transportation. Contract specialist. This is the point of contact for the opportunity. Now, I said contract specialist. It could be a purchasing agent. It could be a purchasing manager. It could be a purchasing specialist. The title is not the important thing. The important thing is that this is the point of contact for a specific opportunity. They will provide answers to clarifying questions. They may host outreach events or public meetings related to that project. You'll want to keep that person in mind and keep their contact information handy. Project forecast. Some agencies provide a forecast. It's consistently updated, sometimes daily, sometimes monthly, sometimes quarterly, and then annually. You use this in conjunction with your business strategy. You look at what they're planning on doing. It could be a capital improvement project. It could be adding sites. It could be anything related to what they need. You look at what they need and how you can help them. You bring that together to build your strategy and what projects you want to follow to know when they're coming out so that you can either bid as a prime or get on a team of a prime as a sub. A lot of agencies are using contracting portals now. So if you are anxious about using the computer, if you don't want to spend time in front of a computer, if you want to hire someone else to look at this information for you, that's fine. However, keep your contact information current, your email, your telephone number. Whoever you have listed there, they should be the individuals that you are working with. If it's not you, somebody on your team that's going to respond. You may receive emails as invitations to bid. You may receive invitations to be on teams. If you don't respond, you'll miss out on an opportunity. Keep your website fresh. Keep your capability statement fresh and on your website. Some agencies require that you submit your bid or proposal through that same portal. Educate yourself or your employee or your consultant to do that. You want to, when you take the time to prepare a bid or prepare a proposal, you don't want to wait till the last minute to submit. It's not just about looking at lists, doing research, and watching websites. It's about building relationships. When I work with my clients, I tell them that we're playing the relationship long game. This is not an expectation that I sit down with the prime today, we have a Starbucks coffee, and tomorrow you send me this agreement that says from now until forever, you are forever going to be my sub for every contract that I have. It's not realistic. Primes need subs. Subs need primes. It's a joint partnership. Every opportunity that comes your way as a sub or as a prime might not be a good fit. Follow your business model. Know what your plan is. Move forward with that plan. There may be opportunities that come to you that you were unaware of, that you may adjust your business strategy, and that's fine. But know that building these relationships is for the long haul. It's not just what a prime can give to you as a sub, but also what you can give the prime as a sub. Your knowledge, your tools, the things that your company may have built in relation to IT, the experiences you've had, your network of folks. Because while you may be one minority certified business, generally, you associate with others that are as well. A prime may say they need a minority-owned firm in a specific area. You may know who that person is. Share that information. But remember, every relationship will not result in a contracting opportunity. Thank you for taking the time to participate in my workshop. I want you to Consider obtaining your minority certification if you have not. Get your website built out with an email address tied to your URL, not Gmail, not Yahoo, not AOL, not Outlook. I want you to make a list of the agencies you want to work with. I want you to determine the location in which you want to seek business. If you have questions, if you're ready to move into this space, if you need assistance with your capability statement, I'm here. My contact information is on the screen. Please feel free to email me and definitely follow us on social media. Have a great day.